I'm Mary Jo Rapini, and I've been a licensed therapist helping couples for over 30 years now. What I would like to talk about is that when couples come in, usually the problem they present with is not the problem at all. There's all kinds of things underneath it. And getting underneath it is why therapy can be so beneficial for couples during a struggling time in marriage. One of the things I want to talk about that I'm seeing more of is quiet quitting, when one spouse just gives up. This doesn't look like a divorce. In fact, these couples many times are out there. They're your friends, they're your family. They're the couple that are still very much married, but inside they've just quit. They've quit giving, quit putting effort into the relationship, mostly into their spouse. What usually happens is one spouse just stops trying. They stop asking for affection. They stop initiating conversation. They stop expecting their partner to understand. The relationship can look intact from the outside, while the emotional marriage is slowly disappearing on the inside. Partners are taken more for granted. Quiet quitting your spouse, it doesn't necessarily mean that you no longer love them. In fact, usually when I talk to these spouses, they do love their partner. But what it usually means is it means you become exhausted from trying to get something that you haven't been able to get for a long time from your spouse. You've asked for attention. You've asked for affection. You've asked for help. You've asked to be heard. You've asked and tried to get your partner to look at you, to prioritize you. And finally, you just say, I'm done. So you stop. You stop becoming, you're polite instead of intimate. You're functional instead of connected. You're independent instead of being interdependent. You may still share finances, home, children, holidays, and a bed, but you've stopped sharing who you really are, your inner world. Quiet quitting often begins with disappointment. One partner feels like they're giving up because there's a long history of being ignored, taken for granted. You used to complain, now you just stop. You argued, now you just stop. You tried harder, and now you just stop. Indifference often comes from a repeatedly hurt heart. The spouse who has stopped complaining may not be happier. They may simply have stopped believing that complaining will make a difference. So the most dangerous sign isn't anger, it's indifference. When your partner no longer cares, when they no longer are putting effort into the relationship, when someone says, I want you to understand how much this hurts me, there's still a desire for connection. If they're not saying that, if they're just letting go because they don't care anymore, that's a dangerous sign. It doesn't matter anymore. That's their mantra. They just don't care. What quiet quitting can look like from the outside. It no longer initiates meaningful conversation. They stop telling you about their day. They no longer show you their feelings. They become emotionally self-sufficient. They no longer need you to hold them or hug them. They make plans without considering yours. It's perfectly pleasant, but emotionally unavailable. They stop fighting about the relationship, because when you fight about it, it means you still have some skin in the game. You still want it to work. When someone stops fighting for the relationship, don't automatically assume that everything is finally peaceful. Peaceful is not quiet quitting. Peaceful is when you're both at peace and love and connection with each other. Quiet quitting is when there's so much hurt. You've given up. You don't care anymore. Quiet quitting is different from healthy independence. Every marriage needs two individuals having separate interests, friendships, hobbies, and time alone is not a problem. That's not what I'm talking about. That's good. That's healthy. Quiet quitting is different. Healthy independence says, I am my own person and I choose you. Quiet quitting said, I've learned not to need you. One creates freedom within connection. The other creates distance within a marriage. People quietly quit because they're hurt. Sometimes they feel their partner is emotionally unavailable. Sometimes one spouse has repeatedly broken promises. Sometimes the relationship has become completely transactional. Who picked up the kids? Who paid the bills? Who is making dinner? The couple becomes excellent at managing a household and terrible at being emotionally connected within it. The tragedy of quiet quitting, well, I can see many, and I do see many in my office, but they become roommates. They coordinate, they operate, they raise kids, they take vacations, they post family photographs. But inside their relationship, when I talk to them, there's a profound loneliness. This is why emotional disconnection deserves attention before someone announces they want a divorce. By the time someone says, I don't love you anymore, they may have been emotionally lonely for years. So, how do you bring back quiet quitting? Well, the first step is understanding why they stopped trying. Instead of asking, why don't you care about me anymore? Try asking, when did you stop believing that trying would make a difference? That question can open up a different conversation. There may be years of disappointment. There may be unmet needs that were never successfully communicated and communicated but never addressed. Maybe your partner did tell you, but you just didn't know what to do, so you thought time would heal it. The way back is small moments of reconnection. It's like maybe 5 minutes. Put your phone away. Look at each other. How are we really doing? Ask those questions. Is there something you've stopped asking me for because you don't think I'll respond? And then listen and start doing those things and be consistent. The questions that I'm telling you to ask are uncomfortable, yes, but it can be incredibly revealing because sometimes the marriage doesn't need another promise. It needs evidence, evidence that your partner's, your feelings matter to you, evidence that their request won't be dismissed, and evidence that change is possible. If you're willing to put in the effort, don't wait until your spouse is completely done. Step up now. Ask these questions. If you let it go, then I think the bottom line is your marriage will get to such a distance emotionally that something catastrophic will answer. You can even start saying something like, where did we go wrong? Where did you stop turning to me? What did I do that told you you couldn't believe in me anymore or couldn't hope? The question every couple in this situation should ask, are we still married? I think that's a really important question. Once you get the answer to that, and they probably will say yes in name, but not in emotion, then are we still emotionally connected? When you ask that question, you will get a list of ways you're not. Take one or two of those things and start working on them now. Intimacy requires more than just being present. It requires curiosity, effort, vulnerability, affection, and repair. You will be on the right track at least a little bit if you go to your therapist and say, we are emotionally disconnected and we need help getting back on track with that. Almost every therapist will know how to work with you from that point. If this video is helpful for you, please subscribe. If you're already a subscriber, thank you so much.